A hero isn't born. They're forged in the fire of adversity. When the moment comes, they don't step back. They stand, they fight, not for glory, not for fame, but because something greater than themselves is on the line. Minnesota has never lacked heroes, ordinary men and women who found themselves in extraordinary circumstances, forced to make a choice, to rise or to fall, to surrender or to stand. These are their stories of courage, of conviction, of the battles that shaped a state, a people, and a legacy that still echoes today.
In the shadow of Fort Snelling, a man named Dred Scott walked the land, bound, yet dreaming of freedom, enslaved. But standing on free soil, he served an army doctor, never knowing his fight for justice would shake the foundation of a nation. When his enslaver died, Scott seized his moment, taking his battle to the courts, daring America to live up to its promise. His case would divide a country, but his courage would echo through history.
On Fort Snelling's high bluff, by the Mississippi's flow, Dred Scott served a doctor in lands of ice and snow. Minnesota's wilderness, a free land it should be, but chains of bondage held him far from liberty. Dred Scott, Dred Scott, your spirit's still alive today. When someone is oppressed, your memory lights the way. Stripped of your rights, a downright shameful sin, but it sparked the war for freedom, and freedom did win.
The doctor's life did end, a new master claimed his due. But Dred Scott stood his ground,
Said my freedom's overdue.
in the U.S. courthouse halls.
He made his righteous plea. I've lived on free soil, now justice set me free. Dred Scott, Dred Scott, your spirit's still alive today. When someone is oppressed, your memory lights the way. Stripped of your rights, a downright shameful sin, but it sparked a war for freedom, and freedom did win. The Missouri Compromise, a line drawn in the sand, said slaves brought north like Scott should be free in this land. But the highest court in the land said the state's laws didn't matter, denied his personhood, and put a stain on our nation's banner. Dred Scott, Dred Scott, your spirit's still alive today. When someone is oppressed, your memory lights the way. Stripped of your rights, a downright shameful sin, but it sparked the war for freedom, and freedom did win. From Minnehaha's Falls to Mankato's tragic square, the fight for human dignity echoed everywhere. Scott's courage lived live to see his dream of freedom won. His fight in Minnesota had only just begun. From Fort Snelling to Stillwater, his story still rings true. A testament to bravery for me and for you. So we remember Dred Scott's name in the land of sky blue waters. His struggle for equality for all sons and daughters. From the Mississippi's banks to the prairies stretching far, Dred Scott's spirit guides us still, like Minnesota's North Star. Freedom, and freedom did win. In the aftermath of the Dakota War of 1862, when vengeance swept through Minnesota, one voice rose above the anger: Bishop Henry Whipple. While others demanded blood, he demanded justice. Speaking for a people no one would hear, he stood before presidents, pleaded with the powerful, and risked everything to stop the mass execution of the Dakota. In a time of hatred, Whipple chose mercy, and his fight for humanity still reverberates today.
In the land of lakes and endless skies, where the eagle soars and the pine trees rise, a bishop stood with a heart so wide. For the broken and the wronged he wouldn't hide. From the Dakota plains to the courts of men, he raised his voice again and again. With a trembling hand he wrote the plea: spare their lives, let mercy be. He carried the cross through fire and storm, a beacon of light when the night was long. For justice and peace he stood so strong. Bishop Whipple's faith was a guiding song. When the war drums beat and the treaties lied, he saw the sorrow in the Dakota's eyes. He knelt in prayer, but his actions spoke. A warrior for love in a land that broke. To Lincoln's ear, his message flew: these men are not the evil you pursue. Though history marked him with disdain, he bore the weight of the cries and pain. He carried the cross through fire and storm, a beacon of light when the night was long. For justice and peace he stood so strong. Bishop Whipple's faith was a guiding song. Cathedrals of oak and rivers of stone, he prayed for a land that could atone for every soul, red, white, or gray. He dreamed of a dawn where love held sway. Now his spirit lingers on the breeze, in the rustling leaves and the whispering seas. A hero's tale in a troubled land, a man of faith with a gentle hand. So let us remember, let us and stay alive. Through every valley, in every cause, we'll honor the name of Bishop Whipple's cross.